Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 1st, 2022, the first day of Black History Month, and Brian Flores has now sued the NFL over racism. And, of course, right now in the NFL, there's only one remaining black coach, and that is Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers that are publicly owned by the Jesuit Rooney family. And in reality, it's the Jesuits that run every last team in the NFL. They make it seem like it's just the Steelers. But let me show you how obvious this ritual is. And let me remind you that the way he swept Bill Belichick this year, supposedly the greatest coach there ever was. When he beat him in Boston, we saw it coming a mile away because Brian Flores is Jesuit educated. He went to Boston College like Matt Ryan, who choked intentionally to allow Boston to win the Super Bowl when Brady came back from 25 points on 2/5. But again, I just want you to understand how the Jesuits script every last thing. It's all about distract and divide. This is the tactics every day that they use with their technology, that is the television, the radio. Everything is about distraction and division. The sports games distract you. The news stories divide you. And it's that phrase, united we stand, divided we fall. The Jesuits know that a divided, distracted populace is an easy one to control. And again, you got to know their letter and number code, Gematria. In Gematria, February equals 42. Slavery equals 42. Jackie equals 42. Tuskegee 42. Martin 42. Watch the sitcom Martin. He lives in apartment 42. Malcolm X 42. The N-word 42. Bus 42. What day was Rosa Parks born? She was born February 4th, 4/2. The other year, they sent Mookie Betts over to the Dodgers as the new Jackie, and the 4-2 ritual allows to see why they'd win the 116th World Series. Muhammad Ali, 42. Jesuit, 42. And, they say Bill Belichick's the greatest coach there ever was, even though almost every time they show him on the sideline, he's just standing there with his arms folded in his hoodie, not even talking to anyone, like a statue. But earlier this year, when the Dolphins upset the Patriots, we had a good hunch that they would because Flores is Jesuit educated in Boston, and he had the perfect alignment. From his February 24th birthday, also born in Black History Month, to that game on September 12th was his 201st day of his age. Remember, that's the big number with the Jesuits. And if you're like, oh, how do I know that? Well, I could tell you a million different ways, but here, let me just show you a better one. Here's September 20th, 2020, the NFL season, the Falcons with another epic collapse, this time to the Dallas Cowboys in Matt Ryan's 201st career game. Again, he went to Boston College, the Jesuit school like Flores, and I just want you to see what the Fox broadcast did. Watch this. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but Matt Ryan picked up something like his 49th road loss in that game, and Dallas is 49. And a lot of people, we murdered the NFL on that day. We understood the ritual so clearly. A lot of people hit like 6 and 17 parlays that day, but the Cowboys gave everyone a heart attack because everyone thought their parlay was going to break on the Cowboys game, but they came back and won. Matt Ryan's 201st game, and they had to put a big old 201 on the screen. But of course, Miami always gives the Patriots trouble. This was true even when Tom Brady was on the team. And we just saw, we're like, 201, the Jesuit order 201, their big number, Brian Flores, chance to beat the greatest coach there ever was, Bill Belichick, who was too stupid to know how to coach against Brady this year. Remember, it was like 4th and inches, and they could have gone for the first down with plenty of time, but instead they tried to kick nearly a 60-yard field goal in horrible weather. How's that the greatest coach of all time? Could have found a Pee Wee coach who'd know how to handle that situation. Anyway, the entire NFL is a joke. There's no greatest coaches all time. There's no greatest quarterbacks all time. There might be like the most impressive athlete, speed, jumping ability, tackle power, impressive catch. Like you can see that. There's real athletic talent, but there's no greatest of all times in a rigged league. I mean, if you want to believe in the bullshit-ass Jesuit narratives you get day after day, that just makes you an idiot who thinks the Hardy Boys was for those of you guys who don't know who the Hardy Boys is, it's just a fictional story. I'm just saying the NFL might as well be fiction. It's just like when you watch a movie, there's actors fulfilling the script. That's what the NFL is. Bill Belichick always there in his hoodie. You know, as he just got smoked in the playoffs against the Bills. Did you see how every time the camera went to him, he was like all by himself, nobody around him like this, or he was fidgeting with his COVID mask like a dumbass? Wow, you're really looking like the greatest coach of all time over there. But, again, I mean, this is just a joke. Black coach, I'm going to do it because it's Black History Month. You know, more divisive bullshit. Why should there be... Morgan Freeman said it best, like 20 years ago. He's like, why should there be a Black History Month? You guys want a White History Month? Should we have a Chinese History Month? You know, he's like, why are we always doing things like this for black people? It's just, he said, this is just what causes the division in the world. You know? We're the people of the world. We just all need to learn how to get along. But anyway... The Jesuit fingerprints are all over with Brian Flores. Look, if you're new here, big numbers with the Jesuits. Let's just go to the most pure cipher. You only need one, the one I taught from the beginning to see the most pure rituals. Society of Jesus in Gematria 56, that's the Jesuits, Brian Flores 56. And this ritual comes right before Super Bowl 56. And, the one thing I was wrong about is I thought before this season began, I thought it was going to be the Black Lives Matter Super Bowl. Instead, they went with the Joe Montana, born in 56, new Joe Burrow Super Bowl, which we saw coming at the start of the playoffs. And we did think Joe Burrow was going to have quite the year, so we weren't a mile off. And again, because we had the knowledge, we were able to fix what we thought was going to happen before it was too late for everybody. Anyway, Boston College is also 54, like Jesuit Order's 54. And remember, there's a lot of shit going on today. Like Brady's retiring today on Joe Burrow's 54th day of his age in the Bengals' 54th season, right? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a tiger by his toe. Remember that old saying isn't, today's the first day of International Tiger Day. The old nursery rhyme's not tiger, it's the N-word. So, anyway, how do you fire Brian Flores, though, in a year where he sweeps the greatest coach there ever was? You know what I mean? Like, what manager would make that decision? You'd be like, wait a minute, man. He beat the greatest coach in the history of the NFL in both games this year. You know? Why would you fire that guy? So, anyway, it's all a joke, you guys. It's all ritual. I want to talk about Brooklyn, New York, the neighborhood he's from, but... Boston College, he went to school right there. And now who are they plugging in for him? I was just showing... Oh, well, hold on. I got to show you Jesuit Order, 144.54. Boston College is the exact same thing, 144.54. He's suing because the New York Giants hired Brian DeBull instead, whose birthday is April 14th. 14/4, like 144. And the thing is, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, and you got to know all four base ciphers. Oops, I don't want Boston College. I want Jesuit Order up there. Jesuit Order in reverse is 72. The Jesuits were created August 15th, 1534. Date was 72 numerology. Done about a gazillion 72 rituals with the Jesuits over the years. And this Brian DeBull, his name's got the 72 in it as well. So... nothing but Jesuit rituals, nothing but rigged football games, nothing but divisive propaganda. Again, distract and divide. That's the Jesuit agenda, and they're masters at it. I always say, imagine all the people that pile into a rigged stadium to get ripped off every weekend to watch a rigged ball game. Imagine if instead of doing that, they lined up behind me when I'm out on city corners trying to wake up cities to what's going down to shut it down. You could take the amount of people in a football, in the Redskins stadium, or now what are they going to be called? The Red Tails. I think they're going to announce that on February 4th, and it's in tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, right? Tuskegee's Tuskegee's, I could talk about all those numbers, but we'll just keep it right here. Tuskegee 30 and 42, like slavery, N-words also like that. The other day it was the black woman at age 30 who supposedly jumped to her suicide on the 30th and landed on 42nd Street. But yeah, I mean, if I could just get all the people in the Washington football stadium, we could probably end the federal government that day. But instead, they all want to sit there and watch the rigged game, you know? That's why they do this. All roads lead to Rome. Just like how in Rome they knew how to control the serfs. It's no different today. Just give them some bread and circus, and you got a slave force that's just content enough to be a slave force. Work their ass off, pay their taxes, make sure the king stays the king. Nothing's changed, you guys. Distract and divide. So, Brian Flores. And it's not to say that the NFL shouldn't have more black coaches. Of course it should. You know, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying this is why they do it. The reason they don't have more black coaches is because the Jesuits run it. The Jesuits love to mock black people. It's their favorite thing. They're the ones that stuck 42 on black people in the first place. It's all because of the Bible. The story of Jesus begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. That's Matthew 1:1 in the New Testament. New Testament 42. The only description left of Jesus in the Bible is that of a black man, hair like wool. Who has hair like that? Certainly not white people. And that's also part of the reason Tupac died on September 13th. That's Cesar Borgia's birthday. That's who white Jesus is modeled after. Tupac Shakur's 139 like 13/9. But, of course, Tupac's last album, Machiavelli, is him on the cross like Jesus. And what day did it release? Remember the 5th of November, the day leaving 56 days left in the year when Society of Jesus is 56? So, again, from your favorite hip-hop stars to, well, not even just hip-hop, your favorite entertainers, period. Music, movies. You got Jesuits behind all these people. And, yeah, for everyone asking about the death of the Walking Dead actor, talk about a Jesus ritual. I covered that over on GematriaEffectNews 24. So I don't know why so many of you guys refuse to subscribe to that channel, but that is where I put out the majority of content. And I do cover a lot of sports stuff over there too. So we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. Thank you for the likes. See, we got a measly 30 right now. It's pretty pathetic, but I'm sure if I was flashing my titties here and I was some hot chick, I'd probably have 500 likes right now. But knowledge, again, that's the thing about our society. You know, knowledge doesn't carry much value. You go in a bookstore, a used bookstore, I mean, you can get great books for a few dollars. You know, you go to a sports game, you got to pay $100 to get in the door, $20 for a beer, $10 for a hot dog, $15 for nachos, $5 for a licorice rope. It's like, man, you could have went to the bookstore, got an awesome read, done something beneficial for your life, and saved $1,000 tonight. But people don't value knowledge. They value entertainment. And that's because we have a society of morons. Anyway, till next time, True Seeker.